our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters who devour shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us still be brave. For that 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What thou before us lies the open grave. Like men, we'll face the murderous and cowardly pack. Pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. If we must die, let us die like men. Claude McKay. So I wanted to give that to let everybody know that when this poem was written, this was after the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This poem was written after the Slocum massacre in East Texas, where over 50 African Americans in a little bitty small East Texas town called Slocum was massacred. So we've always had a spirit of rebellion. We've always had that. The Stonewall Rebellion. There's many rebellions that have not been recorded in history. The Mau Mau's. So we've always had the spirit of resistance. But Claude McKay just put it into writing. So as we look at what's going on today in Ferguson, all we have to do is look back, 50 years ago when the Civil Rights Bill was enacted, the Civil Rights Movement. We had people like Harry T. Moore that a lot of people have never heard of. Florida. Harry T. Moore was before Medgar Evers. He was the national chairman and also became the national director for the NAACP in Florida. He was a very, very brave man. Did a lot of people in Florida. NAACP was a feared organization. And we talk about Medgar Evers and him being assassinated, but nobody talks about Harry T. Moore. Harry T. Moore and his wife, Christmas night, they were blown up in their home. Somebody came and put dynamite up under their home. His wife, his mother-in-law, and his children were there. But see, nobody talks about that. Harry T. Moore knew that he would die. But what he did in the spirit of rebellion, when he started with the NAACP in Florida, he only had like 10 members. When he finished doing what he did, he had over 3,000 members in the Florida area. And they could not stand that. And so they had to blow up Harry T. Moore. Harry T. Moore said this. He said, freedom never dies, I say. He said, freedom never dies. So this is what we have to do. We have to look at our ancestors. We have to look at those who came before us that we don't read about in books. We have to look at the Maroons who fought up in the hills of Jamaica against the British. We have to look at Boukman Esperanza, who fought for the Haiti Rebellion. And that's why Haiti looks like it does right now, because they refused to give in. We have to look at Dessalines. We have to look at Toussaint L'Ouverture. We have to look at all those people that our history books do not tell us about, because it all leads down. And those young people that's in the streets of Ferguson right now, as we were talking a few minutes ago, when we were talking about disaster capitalism. People create a system so they can capitalize on crisis. They create the signs of fear. They create areas where people have to go into crisis. And then when you go into crisis, you do certain things, and there are people out there that are profit off of what you're dealing with. So we have to understand that it's a master plan. It's a master plan, because of people as divine as us, it has to be a master plan, because we still here. After all those years of enslavement, of torture, being in the belly of the beast, we still here, and they still cannot destroy us. So to those young people that's in the street of Ferguson, I say, keep on doing what you're doing. Don't let them stop you, because if we must die, let us not die like hogs. Let us die like men. We saw that in Tiananmen Square, where the people fought the tanks. What we're seeing right now is the same thing that those young people over in Palestine are doing against Israel. Throwing rocks at the tanks, standing up to the tanks and saying, you know what? We're not afraid of you. We have been in occupied territory. And when you've been in occupied territory, what do you become? You become a guerrilla. And this is a new way of fighting. And the new way of fighting is technology. Recording everything, tweeting this. This is the new civil rights right here. Because once you get this on, you cannot dispute this. So we must understand that this is a new way of fighting. And those young people that's out in the street, the Crips and the Bloods, that's the first time I've ever seen that coming together saying, no, we will not destroy our property. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Standing up in front of the tank, standing up in front of the militarized police. And the only reason, like I said, that President Obama stepped in is because when 2 white boys got jumped up on in McDonald's, that's the only reason he came down. Otherwise than that, Eric Holder wouldn't have came. Eric Holder said something today very important. He said, I'm the Attorney General, but I'm also a black man. I'm also a black man. This could have been me if my circumstances had been just a little bit different. Well, guess what, Eric Holder? You are Michael Brown because they can shoot you down. They shot Dr. King. They shot Malcolm. So just because you have a doctorate and a degree does not make you bulletproof. It does not make you bulletproof. And the most dangerous thing there is an educated black man and black woman who has a spiritual conscience and a spiritual awareness of who they are and who they come from. Let me see that. What was that? Day before yesterday, we stopped by a graveyard. People that lived in the community didn't even know that there was a graveyard there. But the oldest grave I've ever seen was 1846. 1846. This is before slavery, so imagine what those people lived through, dealt with. So if those people can deal with that, we can deal with what we're doing to what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to call on the ancestors. We're going to have more organizations like this that shore us up, that support us, that keep us coming and give us knowledge. Because that's the only way we're going to make it. And as Brother Bandela used to say, organize, organize, organize. Because if we like this, we cannot do anything. But if we like this, we can do a whole bunch. All power to the people. Long live the dragon, George Jackson.
Right on.